What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Pee Wee the Plug. I'm back. We locked in all the Simalones, so make sure you hit that like button for me. And if you're new and you enjoy this type of content, make sure you subscribe. It is currently December 20th, which means we only have 11 days left. So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to go into the comments and give me some ideas and recommendations of what type of videos y'all would like to see from me as we wrap up this streak over the next week or so. We only have 11 more days, and technically, that's not even it, because a few of those days you're going to get behind the scenes of the podcast. So like Saturday, tomorrow you're getting one, Wednesday, and next Saturday. So it's only like 8 more videos that you're going to be getting. I know I've been doing a lot of 2K stuff, a lot of basketball-centric videos. If there's anything outside of the norm, now is the time to ask. If y'all want to do a bunch of questions, life advice, music, I'm trying to think of all the type of stuff I've done in the past that y'all have enjoyed. But any of those ideas or anything I've never done before, drop it in the comments. I'll be looking, and I'll try to get y'all some different type of variety as we wrap up this streak. As far as today, I'm going to go in the comments of the last video, and I'm going to look at some of those trades that y'all put in there, and I'm about to grade them. Do not take my grading personal, but I told y'all not to give me no BS. So now let's go take a look and pray for the best. All right, here we go. We got 217 comments. Obviously, every single comment isn't a trade, but majority of these are trades. I do want to say again, please do not take my grades personal. I'm just giving y'all the honest truth of what I believe. And then secondly, I do want to put out here, I am trusting y'all and giving y'all the benefit of the doubt that y'all made sure these trades are possible, that the money match. These aren't any second apron teams that can't do these trades or anything. I'm giving y'all that benefit of the doubt so I can just scroll through these and we can address and look through as many as possible. At first, I was screenshotting the ones that I like, but then I'm like, you know what? Let's share screen and try to scroll through so we can give as many as we can some attention. The first one that I see right here is from Tony George 6117. He says Michael Porter Jr. and Zeke Naji and a second-round pick to the Hawks for DeAndre Hunter and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Denver gets a really good bench piece in Bogey and a very good starter in Hunter, and you add more shooting. ATL gets MPJ, who can slide in at the 3 and be a very good movement shooter next to Trey. He can guard, he's tall, and he can rebound, and he's won a chip. I love how you spell one. I love it. You have to be a YN spelling one like that. I think it's a win-win. First and foremost, the first thing that pops off in my mind is, what is the value of Michael Porter Jr. to surrounding teams? I like Michael Porter Jr., but he is handsomely paid, right? I do believe the Hawks are bought all the way into winning as much as they can this season. And I love the connection with Michael Porter Jr. and Trae Young. I remember when Trae Young started off his rookie campaign and it was very slow. Remember, Trae Young had a very slow start to his career. I vividly remember a video, and somebody's going to find it, of Michael Porter Jr. like on Instagram or something, and he got like a backwards hat on, and he's just doing like a selfie recorded video, and he's like, man, y'all talking crazy on Trae. He gonna start making shots and getting it together, and y'all going to have to stand on what y'all was saying. And like, surely enough, that second half of the season, Trae Young took off. And I always remember that video and love that video because to me, it represents their relationship. I've even seen times of Trae Young speaking on Michael Porter Jr., without him being around. And I just love their relationship. So getting them on a team, I like. But that team becomes very expensive quickly without having this crazy upside, because Trae Young is expensive. Dyson Daniels, you have to pay in the offseason. After he's had this season, you're probably going to pay him handsomely. Jalen Johnson just got paid, and now you're adding in another $35+ million salary. In order for Atlanta to do that, I think they have to be confident that this isn't like a 7-seed play-in team. And as much as I like MPJ, the Hawks have had their struggles where they're not like this solidified team. And even outside of them, the Eastern Conference is tough. When you start to get to that 5-6 right above the play, it gets real tricky because you have New York, Milwaukee is playing good basketball now, Cleveland, Boston, the Magic. Like, at any given moment, the Pacers can get it together. It's a dogfight to try to avoid the play-in. So if you're Atlanta and you make a deal like that, you have to be more than sure that this is the team, because you won't have much other type of wiggle room, and that's going to be a very expensive team. So that's the only pushback I got on the trade. Outside of that, yeah, you're basically getting two more players and two more bodies for the Denver Nuggets, who I think could come in and having Bogdanovich, as much as he struggled this year, having him play next to a countryman in Nikola Jokic can maybe open up some things for him. DeAndre Hunter has been spectacular, and you just slide him right in at the 3 and you keep things pushing. Maybe it just really depends on how much the Nuggets value that return package. And then Zeke Naji, again, it's not the most ideal player to get in return for the Nuggets, but you're getting Michael Porter Jr. and some second-round picks. Real quick, with the reply, this is great. Bogdan has not been good this season. Change of scenery could be all it takes. I was listening to the Game Theory podcast, and they had something similar. I think they included Larry Nance. Larry Nance will be a very good get back in this deal for the Nuggets. If you're able to get Larry Nance, see, maybe he's saying Larry Nance replaces Bogey. Even in that case, I still like it. I like both of those ideas, but I definitely love Larry Nance as a backup big for the Nuggets. Trey and MPJ have chemistry dating back to the AAU days. I like the idea, but I think the Nuggets will only trade MPJ for a big name. I think it's the same way. I believe that too, Isaac Bonga. I believe that too. You're the guy that also has something to say about my glasses. I remember. But I believe that too. I think it's like Zach. They want home run guy who can close the game and go off, and that's why Zach LaVine has kind of gained traction as a Nuggets potential guy. Next trade is Ice Spooky 8543 says the Blazers received Jayshawn Tate, Jock Landale, 2027 first-round pick, top 3 protected, and a second-round pick unprotected, and the Rockets received Robert Williams. Not a bad deal at all. A smaller deal. I could see this happening because Robert Williams has the connection to Ime since the Boston Celtic days. Again, though, if I'm the Rockets, I'm being very careful with all of these right here. Anything that says first round pick, I'm being extremely careful for. And because Dennis Schroeder was able to be acquired by the Warriors without having to involve a first round pick, you may be able to get this deal done without adding this. But if I'm the Rockets, I'm holding all of my first round future picks hostage, because there is a move in the future, whether that's in the near future or the distant future, that they're going to be able to get a guy that can ultimately change and alter the trajectory of where they're going. They have a really good group of young guys, some really good complimentary guys, but we still, as NBA people and NBA fans, don't feel like they have that legitimate number one superstar player. As good as Alpi is, as good as Jalen Green is, as good as Jabari can be, as good as Tari and Amin, they don't have a clear-cut, this is our best player. They're a team so far. I believe you hold all of those first-round picks to the chest, and you allow these guys to progress and to continue to develop, especially like this first year, get some playoff experience. And then once the stars align, whether that's a Giannis, whether that's I don't even know off the top of my head, other guys that will become available, but whatever, you go and you strike gold. You know what I mean? Like, you go and you strike gold. And that's how you're going to probably go get your go-to guy. And then you're going to bring your go-to guy into a situation where he's going to be surrounded with Tari Eason. He's going to be surrounded with a Amin Thompson, a Sengun, a Jabari. You know what I mean? Like, that is the perfect situation. You have mega contracts that you can tie, like Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green now on the extension, Fred VanVleet, depending on if you accept or decline his player option. There's workarounds where you'll be able to include big contracts, and then you attach one of your young players to give them something, and then you have the picks and you're done. And that allows you to keep majority of those young guys. You can theoretically do a deal that won't include a Amin Thompson, Tari Eason, and you can just say, or Sengun, and you can say, hey, we have this trade, we have a couple of these picks, we have a $20 million Dylan Brooks contract, and you can have Jalen Green or you can have Jabari. And if it's a mega star, three years from now, Anthony Edwards wants out, you say, yeah, shit, you can have both. You get what I'm saying? But you would still be bringing in, and it's all hypothetical, you would still be bringing Anthony Edwards into a situation where there's a surrounding team for him. Because a lot of teams in history, like my Knicks when we acquired Melo, you give up so much to get him that you don't have the infrastructure surrounding him immediately, and that hurts you. So I love where the Rockets are. So I would be very careful with their first round picks. Christian's Pink 04 says, P, what do you think of this trade? OKC receives Cam Johnson. The Nets receive Aaron Wiggins, Ousmane Dieng, and a first round pick. Unfortunately, Wiggins has to be used for his $10 million in return. OKC gets an elite shooter with a 6'8" frame, which helps their size issue in shooting. Nets get a pick and a young player with Dieng. Also, Johnson is only making around $20 million annually in the future, so it doesn't stop OKC from giving max to young players. I love this trade. I am a big believer that the OKC Thunder are in really good shape. They have a really good team, but this is what I want to see. I think Cam Johnson should be a guy that they should aggressively seek and that they should aggressively go for. I think he is like the perfect fit because he is making $20 million something dollars. I think his contract is descending, somebody told me in the comments. Also, what he offers, you need. Jumbo 6'8" shooting. You have the perimeter defense with Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, even Case and Wallace. You have the bigs up front with Chet when he comes back and Isaiah Hartenstein, who's been phenomenal. You have Shea, your go-to guy. You have a number 2 in J-Dub. You have a little bit of everything. But this now gives you a jumbo shooter who is a really good basketball player, and you put him in position to come in and do exactly what he's doing in Brooklyn. I don't think his role would change too much. I think the only thing that changes for Cam Johnson is the quality of shot. He may be able to get 3 or 4 more looks per game that are completely wide open because of what Shea is going to do as an offensive player, because of what J-Dub can do as an offensive player. I think, so I love this trade for them. I think they have to continue to think of themselves that way. I think they should not have the approach of continuing just as, let's just see what we have. No, strike gold now. Strike gold now, and I think this is how they're going to continue to build up a dynasty. Because when teams are so thirsty to hit home runs, OKC hits the gapper. And what the gapper does, it keeps the inning alive. It gives you a double, and it continues to allow an avalanche of runs. One home run clears the bases. But if you continue to get double after double that means somebody is scoring and somebody else is going to second. You just keep putting yourself in scoring position. One home run, a solo shot, that's just it. You scored, and now the bases are cleared, and now the next man has to come up and get something started. But if you keep getting the gappers, extra base hits, a double, a triple, a double, a triple, it may not be a home run, and it might not have the shock value, but it continues to put you in position to continue to score over and over. Okay, Caruso, not necessarily this out-of-the-park superstar acquisition player. It's a double. Isaiah Hartenstein, you overspent $30 million. Okay, we had the cap. We can do that. That's a triple. And now here you go again. You have runners in scoring position on second and third. You get Cam Johnson. That clears the bases. But now that's another single. Now you have another man just for baseball terminology. So I love this trade. I think this is probably an A+. If I was grading the other 2 trades, to me this trade right here is a C because I don't want to put in the 2027 first round pick, and especially because it's a distance first round pick. And then the MPJ one is a B+. This is the first A+ trade for me. This is A+. This is no doubter. I'm also curious as to what the Nets want back. I'm very confused on what the Nets are trying to get back. I know they don't want to be good, but you have to want something back for these players. Like DeAnthony Melton, okay, he clears the books, second round picks or whatever. But like, is that going to be the standard for every trade? Just a bunch of second round picks with expiring money? Because if that's the case, I don't even know if they would want Ousmane Dieng. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know. But I love this trade. This is my favorite one thus far. The next trade we have is from Yoel 2. It's a big trade. I'm seeing a lot of names. Okay. Stay with me, y'all. Lock in. Lakers received Dorian Finney-Smith, Cody Martin, and Day'Ron Sharpe, while the Hornets received Gabe Vincent, Zaire Williams, Jackson Hayes, 2 second-round picks via the Lakers 2025 and 2027, while the Nets received D'Angelo Russell, Micic, Hood Schifino, and 2 second-round picks from the Hornets and the Lakers 2025. Not a god-awful idea. He says the Lakers would acquire 3 solid role players. They get good 2, 3, and D guys, a solid big man, which they've needed. The Hornets essentially will receive 2 second-round picks alongside Williams, who they can experiment with. They probably waive Vincent or maybe include him in another deal. The Nets would benefit from second-round picks as well as the expiring contract of Russell, which will help open up even more cap space for them. They will also be able to experiment with Hood Schifino, and Micic is someone who could still play some minutes after they're done selling, or they could get rid of him as well. This type of trade wouldn't give the Lakers a star, which is what they could be targeting, but it does make them better and provides more depth. It also allows them to be able to use the 2029 and 2030 first and another trade that they might like since their value is high. Yeah, starting 5 would be Reaves, Cody Martin, Bron, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Davis. I'm actually not mad at this. I'll give this like a B minus as well, because this is the thought process the Lakers have to have for a bunch of reasons. One of the reasons you mentioned, stretching out your assets. So going out and being able to get a Dorian Finney-Smith and a Cody Martin, or just one of them, to be honest, without having to get into that first-round pick bag, which is the super hyper assets that you have, that would be big. That would be a W for the Lakers, right? The other part of it is you, as ownership, you may have to be hesitant with allowing Rob Pelinka to use the 2029 and 2031 picks. Because, again, to me, the Lakers are a wide margin away from competing for a championship. So if you're going to use 2029 and 2031 to make a move, it needs to be a move that can give you some type of chance to push you over the top. I don't see that move available right now. I just don't. So in my mind, if I'm the Lakers, I'm probably keeping those. Now, Rob Pelinka might want to save his job and get desperate and move him in any way he can, right? And that's a different type of story. But again, I love this trade because it allows you to go and get some help and address some issues without getting into the first-round pick bag. And I'll go out and say this before we move on to the next trade. I think the Lakers, as a team and a franchise, would maybe be in a different position if this was the mentality since they got back Bron, or since they put Bron and AD together. There was a lot of times in this little era of the Lakers where I personally believe they had their standards so high on a superstar return. Remember what I just said with the OKC Thunder. It's okay to get the gappers. The gap hits in baseball are sometimes as valuable as the home run, because you still extend the ending. You put a player in scoring position. You keep guys on the bases. You know what I'm saying? I would rather have an inning where the bases are loaded and I'm continuing to get doubles and triples with the bases being loaded, because I can bring in more runs. Once I hit a grand slam, that's only 4 runs. But if I have a guy on, or if I have 3 guys on and I get a triple, we just scored 3. That guy is still on third for the next guy to come up. So if he walks, I now have 2 guys on. And then if he gets a double, you see, we're scoring. In theory, that's more points. The excitement, though, is the grand slam. That's the excitement. But we get more points by not getting the grand slam. I think basketball in transactional ways is the same way. I think the Lakers got too obsessive with home run hits instead of understanding the value of just having guys in scoring position and keeping it going. And I just think that they would be in a different position if they, and I'm not even talking about every trade that they completed. We don't even have to talk about the rush trade over and over. But even at certain times when you saw what they were looking for, what they wanted, or what they had their intentions set on in the offseason, DeMar DeRozan, this guy and that guy, it's just like, man, I think y'all missed on a lot of stuff by just focusing on every big name in the market. When you could have, Dorian Finney-Smiths are out there. Cody Martins are out there. Caleb Martins are out there. That's what the rest of the NBA is doing. But I feel like they've just been a step behind in that case. And now here we are where you drew up a trade for them, Yoel, that I think is good. But even if this trade happens, it's like, this is a good trade. But unfortunately, it's just not enough for the Lakers right now. It's just not enough. But I'm going to give you a B one on that one. Another Lakers trade. OKC receives Austin Reaves. Holy shit. Was not expecting that. Lakers received Colin Sexton and Walker Kessler, and the Jazz received Gabe Vincent, Ousmane Dieng, Dylan Jones, 2024 first round picks from OKC. First and foremost, I just don't see the Lakers making a deal like this. I really, honestly, this trade above it, these are two Eastern Conference teams. I don't see the Lakers doing a deal where they're allowing the OKC Thunder to get better this much. You know what I mean? And even what they get back in return, it's like, I like Colin Sexton and I like Walker Kessler. But I'm just not sure how much better it makes them. The Lakers. OKC, I get it. But even to the extent, I would much more rather see OKC with Cam Johnson over Austin Reaves, personally. I just think that that's more of what they need. I don't want to bring in another guy who controls the basketball, or, you know what I mean? It's not a bad thing, but it's just like preference of what's available. So I'm going to give this like a C- because, again, I just don't think the Lakers will get involved with a team like OKC where they're giving up one of their best players. Austin Reaves is arguably the third best player on the Lakers, and we're giving him up to make a conference foe better. I just don't see that one. Rocco 5874, Zach LaVine and Torrey Craig for D'Lo, Rui, Gabe Vincent, and a 2025 second-round pick. I don't think you can get this deal done without including one of those first-round picks. I just don't. And at this point, the worst thing that could happen for the Lakers, or that has happened for the Lakers, as far as Zach LaVine goes, you've allowed the Nuggets to now get interest. And I'm telling you right now, there's going to be other teams. Zach LaVine is never going to have 13 teams interested in him because financially it's just impossible. But the Nuggets saying, hey, we want Zach LaVine. We're putting it out there. We're going to be aggressive. We're willing to give up Michael Porter Jr. Those reports, watch two more teams come out and kind of match that energy. Remember me saying that. That's all it takes. Just it's the same way in the opposite way. Once 2 or 3 reports come out that, oh, man, he just makes too much, his injury history, it's a copycat league. The same way Numbers on a Board podcast talks to other podcasts, other front office personnel, they talk to other front office personnel. They hang out, they communicate, they DM each other, they talk. So once you get 3 reports of, oh, man, his contract just too big, that became the report for Zach LaVine. Everybody in the league was saying that. He had no market. Because everybody was seeing what 2 teams said, and then they said, hey, yeah, I agree with that. We feel the same way. So now the Nuggets come out and say, hey, you know what? Damn it, we want in. He's expensive, but he is playing at a different level. And if you put that on our team, it could take us up to another level ourselves, and we're going to need that in the playoffs. I would not be surprised if at least 2 more teams come out and get attached to the Zach LaVine market the same way the Nuggets are. The only thing is the ability to absorb that contract. That's the only thing. That is the only thing. But the way Zach LaVine is playing right now, it's hard for me to imagine that we're going to go all the way into the deadline, which is a couple months from now, and only the Nuggets are going to have interest. I just don't buy that. So I'm going to say that this trade, for that reason, is a D. I think it's too late. I think it's too late for the Lakers to have interest because a lot of teams can come up with a lot better package than this shit. You almost at the point now, Lakers, where you probably might have to dangle out both of those picks. You might have to. Or maybe, I take that back. One of them should be enough. Because 2031 Lakers, who knows what that team looks like. But if I'm the Bulls, there's a real conversation on which package is better. You potentially could get back a Michael Porter Jr. I'm just saying. Next trade from Deuce 21. Brandon Ingram to the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram to the Pacers. Pelicans get Obi Toppin, Aaron Nesmith, Jarris Walker, and 2 seconds in return. Pacers get a shot creator next to Halliburton and Siakam. Pelicans get young players and minor draft capital. I love the fact that you took time out to make a trade for Brandon Ingram and to try to get him to a place like Indiana. But I'm going to be real. This is a D. Not because of anything that has to do with you. This is a D to me because I feel like at this point, the Pacers have to be smarter. Right? Couple of things I want to put out there. Because the Pacers are having a bad start to the season, coming off of an Eastern Conference playoff run, they have to look at everything from a wide scope. You're going to go into the offseason. Miles Turner is going to be a free agent. You're going to have to retain him. He's going to have a market. You're going to have to pay top dollar to make sure you retain him. You're going to have to do that. And I don't blame Miles Turner. I hope he does not try to take a hometown discount. Get paid. You already paid Halliburton. You extended Andrew Nembhard rather quickly and early. Benedict Mathurin is up for money. My point is this team is about to get extremely expensive. So bringing in Brandon Ingram, who is only being, I don't want to say only, but one of the main reasons he's being traded is because he can't come to an agreement with the Pelicans on his money. I just don't see how you can have, kind of like the Hawks, you now have a $30-something million player who's going to want another $30-something million long-term contract. Miles Turner could want a $30 million something contract with Halliburton, who's making the max money. Benedict Mathurin, who now has importance on your team. You just paid Siakam, who I didn't even mention. This team is becoming expensive, and this is the hard part of the NBA, especially when you consider the second apron. When you're spending that type of money, you have to be a conference finals team. So imagine you do this trade where you give up Jarris Walker. You finally trade him because, I mean, we all kind of knew he wasn't going to be able to get as much opportunity. But I do love the opportunity he's gotten this year. But you are going to be too expensive of a team to not be in the upper echelon of the Eastern Conference. And as much as I like Ingram, and I believe he can fit anywhere, I don't know if this is one of my favorite destinations. This is a team that's trying to get Halliburton back to what he was last year. Adding Ingram does not do that. It slows the tempo down even more. It takes the ball out of Tyrese Halliburton's hands a lot more. And you kind of make a completely different team. And I'm not sure if that's the route you want to take. The Pacers have big things to consider. They're a team to watch during this deadline closely. Just about, even if they don't necessarily make a move, but who's available, the talks around their team, what their angle is, if they're buying, if they're selling, they're going to be interesting. Because when it gets to the deadline, if they're not at a certain place, they have to think about their financial status and where they're headed. Because they're going to get expensive rather quickly, and they're already a small market team who historically has not been a team that's wanted to pay over a certain level. They're not a luxury tax team. Paul George told us that years ago, and the history shows that. So we're going to see some things. They're a team to watch. Those are the teams that I'm watching closely as well. And I keep trying to tell fan bases that's how you have to start thinking now that we have a second apron. I get on a podcast, I get on these videos, and I start telling fan bases, hey, don't be, shocked. The guy that you're attached to might be in some trade talks, and he might get traded sooner than you think. And people be like, man, why are we trading? Financial structure is just as important now in the NBA. And if you're not going to be a high-level competing team, it makes no sense to be at the second apron. When you think about all of the things that the NBA has in place to hurt you as a franchise for paying that much money over the luxury, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's the comment. Cam is a descending contract. Somebody get P $50 million contract. I'm gonna heart that. Yeah, please. Herb Jones for Kenrich Williams, Dylan Jones. I seen this trade when I got a notification for this on my phone. I'm going to give this one like a D. The reason I'm giving this a D, Rocco, is just because I think Herb Jones is a phenomenal basketball player, but I don't think that the Thunder don't need another one of those. They got Lou Dort. They got Alex. They're going to have a whole type of team with that mold of a player, right? They need some three-point shooting. They needed some offensive, they got the defensive personnel on that type of side. So I'm staying away from that one. I'm staying away from that one personally. And then if I'm the Pelicans, I need a little bit more than this. Come on, man. Kenrich Williams, Dylan Jones, Ousmane Dieng. Where AJ Mitchell at? New York Knicks received Cody Martin, Nick Richards. Charlotte Hornets received Mitchell Robinson and 2 second-round picks, 2026, 2025. I like this deal. I like Cody Martin. I like Nick Richards. I'll give this a C+ because I don't know how the Hornets feel. The Hornets may look at this and say, shit, we might as well just keep what we got. We got Mark Williams, an injured center. We're going to acquire another injured center and just get 2 second-round picks. We good on picks. There has to be some more that they could get for these two, in my personal opinion. For me as a Knicks fan, hey, if they accept this, then let's get it. And I love Mitchell Robinson, but again, I have to think about both teams. I don't know if the Hornets look at this as like, yay, like they probably look at this and be like, oh, we'll talk to y'all later, because we got to really go and get some real offers, because we can definitely get more for Cody Martin and Nick Richards, in my opinion. The Thunder receive a lot of Thunder receiving trades. Like, y'all love the Thunder. Kelly Olynyk to the Thunder for Kenrich Williams, Ousmane Dieng, and a second-round pick gives the Thunder an extra security at the big man position with Chet out and added three-point shooting. I like the three-point shooting, but Chet is going to come back, and I think they're good until Chet comes back. Yeah, I don't know. Kelly Olynyk feels like he should go to a team that is competing for some type of playoff push or something like that. I need Fox to Houston or Robert Williams to Houston. We got you that. Somebody did that. This one got 31 likes. Portland sends Aiden, Jabari Walker, a future first and a second to the Pelicans for Zion. The Blazers have the time and flexibility to gamble on Zion's availability while their young core develops. And the Pelicans will get Aiden at the center position, which they have been lacking. I think this is a trade you do as the Pelicans if you aren't trying to completely blow everything up. Running back will be eyeing them. If it doesn't work out, oh well, Aiden is only on the books for 2 more years, and you got some picks for Zion. A future first and a second. I think this is a B+, but I think it moves to an A- based off your little paragraph that convinces me. I think you made some tremendous points, K2. Tremendous points. The Blazers have nothing but time and patience to figure out the Zion thing. There's no other avenue for the for the Blazers to go and get that type of talent. They're not a free agent destination. Depending on what first round pick you get this year, could be very interesting. The Blazers are not that far removed from potentially getting a top 3 pick and getting a Dylan Harper or an Ace Bailey or Cooper Flagg. You're just not. And if this is all it's going to cost, you might as well. And I think this is the approach for a lot of different teams. I think this should be the approach for the Hornets, for the Blazers, the Pistons. Any team that's young, upcoming, or struggling who does not have an avenue for acquiring superstar talent or getting it on a free agent market, here's your chance. Here's your chance. Take a swing. Portland has a perfect history with injury-prone big men. They all had amazing long careers. Sound like the perfect spot. That's hilarious. Steve McNash or Steve McNash. We don't want Aiden here. Eves Missy is their center, and Aiden Ingram as a duo is disgusting in a bad way. Well, it wouldn't be a duo, LOL. Aiden is just more dependable center, but I feel you. With the way things are going, it makes sense to focus on developing a guy like Eves. Yes. That was my whole thing with the article that said the Pelicans get him or something like that, where it's like, you might as well just suck this year if you're the Pelicans. Just be terrible. Just be terrible. Well, if you're making unrealistic Luka to the Pistons, I like this. I think it would take a haul for Pelicans to agree to trading Herb Jones. That is why the Nuggets will be sending Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, Zeke Naji, and the 2031 first-round pick to the Pelicans. That's a haul? Yeah, that's a haul. That's a haul of bullshit. These are really good players. Don't get me wrong. I like Strawther, but when you said a haul, I was expecting a little bit more. That's not a haul to me. Anthony Simons, I'm not even grading that. The Zion trade, it's like a A- because you gave me some details, but I agree with all the comments that was like, why the Pelicans probably don't want to do that. Anthony Simons for Marcus Smart, John Conchar, and a 2026 unprotected first from the Memphis Grizzlies. This would give Memphis the best 6-man in NBA and provide a great insurance plan if Ja misses any time to start at point guard. D-. If I'm the Grizzlies and I'm giving up a 2026 unprotected with the salary of Marcus Smart, I'm going to get a wing. I'm going to get Brandon Ingram. I'm calling Miami. Can we get Jimmy Butler? I'm going to get a wing, and I'm solidifying my starting lineup to be Ja, Bane, that wing, Jackson, Edey, and now my bench has Jalen Wells, Scottie Pippen Jr., Santi Aldama. We're going to be Brandon Clark. I'm getting a small forward, though. Cam Johnson. I'm getting a small forward. Pelicans get Miles Bridges, Josh Green, a 2027 Miami first-round pick, Dallas first plus 3 seconds, Hornets get Zion Daniel Tyson. Reasons: Zion is from North Carolina and will be enticed by playing with LaMelo. Nola washed her hands of Zion and hope for another generational talent in the incoming drafts. Again, same thought process as the Blazers. I think, like I said, the Hornets should be taking a swing. Hornets should take as many swings as possible while they still have LaMelo there and not saying he wants out. LeVar Ball, his own father, has already told us at some point he's going to want to be on the West Coast. Clippers, Lakers, whatever. They're not going to want him playing in Charlotte for the rest of his career. So while you have him, the only thing that can stop that is if you're able to build a team that is just too good for him to leave. And even in that case, I probably wouldn't be surprised just based off the Ball family, Hollywood home type atmosphere. They would probably still leave if the Hornets had a competent roster. But, yeah, take a swing. Why not? Why not? And as a basketball fan, picturing them on a court together with Brandon Miller sounds very, very nice. And, again, this is all you have to give up. You still have Brandon Miller. You still have my mind is going. Mark Williams. You still have a lot. 76ers received Cam. Nah. F. I didn't even see what you give up. F. KJ. F. Hey, Quinn cooked. Come on, man. Quinn, you cooked with this damn trade. Not you cooked, but you're cooked. Come on, man. It's F. MPJ, Peyton Watson, the future 31st first round to the Jazz for Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, and Walker Kessler. I'm interested in people's thought process with this trade. Because, again, this is a trade kind of like we talked about earlier with the Lakers. This is a thought process where you take an MPJ and you trade them and you break them down for 3 players. You get a Colin Sexton, Clarkson, and Walker Kessler. My only thing I don't like is the 2 guards are extremely small. So what you're going to do, you're going to be running Brown, Murray, Sexton, Russ, Clarkson, and, because you're giving up Watson too. So you're not going to have any size. You're not going to have any size on the wings. Any at all. So because of that, I'm going to give this one a D+. I'm going to give this one a D+ because of that. Intro came out sick. Thank you. Jericho Sims and a bag of chill. Warriors receive Walker Kessler. I'm gonna do thumbs down. The reason I'm gonna do thumbs down, if you're the Warriors, Floyd's still 50-0. If you're the Warriors, you cannot do a trade with the Jazz giving up AirPods when you could have got Larry Marketing and didn't want to give up AirPods. You can't take that type of L. Stay away from the Jazz. Don't do no work with the Jazz because they're going to come back and laugh in your face like, idiots. We got what we wanted without having to give up what you wanted. Stupid. So don't just ignore that one. If you're, that's an F. We're going to ignore that one. New York Knicks receive Nikola Vucevic. Ignoring it. Matter of fact, thumbs down. The Nuggets receive The Nuggets received Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith for Michael Porter Jr. Obviously, some picks or something would probably be included in this deal. Again, I wonder the interest level of Michael Porter Jr. around the league. What are the Nets trying to do? Do they want to save money? Do they want talent back? Because if that's the case, Michael Porter Jr. is a good talent. But again, he makes $35-something million. So, a lot of the theory and the thought process of what the Nets were going to do of trade, get back expiring deals and draft assets, and we'll have a bunch of money in cap for free agency, and we'll have a bunch of draft picks, to make moves and do what we do. But if you bring back MPJ, that kind of hurts that. But on the flip side for the Nuggets, you basically get, a little bit of MPJ and Cam Johnson, and then you get some defense to add on the bench, which I like this deal versus the other ones because you need the size on the perimeter defensively versus like Sexton and Clarkson and whatnot. So I'm gonna get this one a B-. I'm gonna get that one a B- for sure. Anthony Simons for Cole Anthony, Jett Howard, Caleb Houston, a Denver 2025 first round pick on Orlando 2027 first round pick. Magic get a bunch of needed scoring injection, a much needed, and the Blazers get draft capital, a young wing, and allow Scoot to start. I like it for the Magic. I've been saying Simons to the Magic for years. I've done it. I did it in a rebuild like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Makes too much sense to not happen. And I think he has 2 years left on that deal this year and next year. So yeah, this is to me a B+ again. I think the Magic. I don't know actually what's taking them so long to do this deal. We're 38 minutes in. I'm going to do about 5 more before this become an hour or something long video. The Jazz, they give up Colin Sexton and Walker Kessler. I don't like the way you're structuring your deals. This should be what the Magic is receiving, and you say what the Jazz is receiving, but don't tell me. This is kind of weird reading. So the Jazz give up Colin Sexton and Walker Kessler. The Magic give up, like what the hell? Okay, so the Jazz are going to get Gary Harris and Badatse and a 2025 first-round pick and 2 second-round picks, while the Magic are going to get Colin Sexton and Walker Kessler. I'm not mad at it. You kind of have the same shit going on, but except Colin Sexton gives you more of a punch at the guard position from a scoring perspective. But I like Goga Badatse with the Magic, man. Don't trade him. A lot of people don't understand how difficult Goga Badatse's job is. Like, he was at the start of the season playing 7 minutes, and Wendell gets hurt. They throw him in the game. He's playing 29 minutes a game, and he delivers. To go from not playing to playing and starting and not playing again and coming off the bench, like, he's always ready. You have to respect that as an NBA player. You have to. 3-team trade. CJ McCollum to the Lakers. Lakers receive. You see how he dressed this trade up? This is how you should display it. CJ and Shake Milton go to the Lakers. The Pels receive Jalen Hood-Schifino, Day'Ron Sharpe, Nets 2025 unprotected. Hell no. Why the hell would the Nets give up their unprotected first-round pick? What are we talking about? They just fought so hard to get that pick back. This is what they tanking for. The reason the Nets are trying to trade everybody is so that this pick can convert to something like Cooper Flagg. What are you doing, man? Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, and a first-round pick via Denver. 2 second-round picks for Cam Johnson. Thunder again get Cam Johnson. That's like a C+. I like the first one better. Mavericks Pelicans trade. Mavericks receive Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado. Pelicans receive Maxi Kleber, Omax, Jaden Hardy, 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. This right here gets you back in the finals. This gets you back in the finals. Herb Jones coming off the bench. Luka, Kyrie, Clay, PJ, Gafford, Lively, Herb Jones, Najee Harris come off the bench. Is that what we doing? I like this, man. Is the Maxey contract bad enough that Gafford would have to be in the deal also? I'm not sure. If Gafford is in the deal, consider the deal not going on. Consider the deal not happening. Cole Anthony, Gary Harris. I don't like Cam Johnson with the Magic. I'd rather see him with OKC or some of these other teams that y'all are bringing up. The Nuggets and Wizards and Hornets trade. The Nuggets receive Kyle Kuzma, Valanciunas, and Misic. The Wizards receive Michael Porter Jr. and Nick Smith Jr. Hornets receive Zeke Naji and Jaden Pickett. Hornets ain't doing this shit. Not in a million years is the Hornets doing a trade where this is what they get back. F. New York Knicks receive Marcus Smart. No, we're good. F. Last thing we need is another guard at $20 million, and we're giving up all of the rest of the size that we have. No, don't think so. Oh shit. Cavaliers receive DeAndre Hunter. Hawks receive Max Strus, Dean Wade. I love Dean Wade on the Cavs. At 2 second-round picks, I would love to see DeAndre Hunter on the Cavs. I really would. This is a B+ trade for me. I would love to try to figure out a way to do this trade without giving up Dean Wade. But damn it, DeAndre Hunter on the Cavaliers sound very, very good. I kind of like that fit a lot. I love that fit. Herb and Javonte Green to the Bucks for Bobby Portis. I don't even know if you can do that. What if Butler, Warriors trade, was a 3-way with the Pistons? Jimmy goes to Golden State, Kuminga goes to Detroit, and Ivy goes to Miami. I would rather keep Ivy. Knowing that Kuminga wants $30 million, I'm keeping Ivy. A couple more I'm trying to see. Pee Wee, Kuminga on the Hornets sound ridiculous, my friend. It doesn't make any sense because they already have Brandon Miller. They don't play the same position. Brandon Miller can play shooting guard and small forward. Kuminga plays the 4 and the 3. What do you mean it doesn't make any sense? Do y'all not be watching basketball? Y'all don't see that the guys can play together on a perimeter? A lot of these teams are going 4 out 1 big, 4 out 1 in anyway. It's so interchangeable. That's why Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can play together, and so can Drew Holiday and Derek White. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Sorry for the spam, but drew up Brogdon. I'm so mad. We're just now seeing Brogdon. I'm at the end of the video, and I'm closing out, and we're now finally getting a Brogdon trade. Brogdon to the Magic. They sent out Cole Anthony and another young player like Jet. I think if they're going to involve Jet or De Silva, you got to get something more than Brogdon. His injury history, his age. I like Brogdon, but I don't. If you're spending that much, just go get Anthony Simons. Just get Anthony Simons. Nuggets receive Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith. Spurs receive Michael Porter Jr. Nets receive Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, Charles Bass. If I'm not giving up a first round pick. I'm not giving up a first round pick, and I agree. The Nets probably would say no. You can get some other shit for this. Grizzlies. Oh man, I love this. Grizzlies get Cam Johnson and a 2025 second round pick via Brooklyn. Nets receive Marcus Smart, Jake LaRate. I like this deal. Unprotected is fucking nuts, though. Oh, shit. They're giving up 2 first-round picks. I like this deal. Unprotected is wild. What the comments say, Nets would want the picks pushed out. They have 4 already this year, so probably 26 and 28. They'll be fine. They'll find a way to get creative. Hornets get Kuminga. Warriors get Cam Johnson, Cody Martin, Day'Ron Sharpe. Damn. The Golden State Warriors just get everything, huh? They just get everything. Nets get Tim Hardaway expiring. Guy Santos, Hornets, 2027 first-round pick, top 4 protected. Detroit, 2028 first-round pick, lottery protected. Hornets, second-round pick. Warriors, second-round pick. Pistons get Wiggins, Kyle Anderson. I like this trade. I'm reading it fast, but I like this trade. He said new to this, no hate, please. No, I like it. We're going to heart it. It's different. It's different, but I think everybody walks away with something. Hornets look like they could walk away with a little bit more. You can get on one more. They're the only person that's walking away with just a player. But they also gave up the leash, right? What did they even fucking give up? Cody Martin? So, yeah, I mean, I guess. But the Warriors get a jumbo shooter. They get a player in Martin. They get Day'Ron Sharpe. I don't know if the Pistons are giving up Malik Beasley. But the Pistons do get Wiggins, Kyle Anderson. I like this trade, man. For you to be new to this is good. Give me an A- on this, considering the fact that you're new. DeJounte Murray and Antonio Reaves for KCP, Gogo Badate. Hey, DeJounte is my dog, and I love him. Keep him away from the Magic right now. I don't like what's been happening to the last 2 teams he's going to. The Pelicans is out of his control. Everybody got hurt. But I don't want to see my boy DeJounte getting traded 4 times in 5 years type shit. I'm the Kings. Nobody said anything about the Kings, so let's just see what he has. Kings feel broken as a whole at the moment, but maybe new blood and Lincoln slow to bleeding. I usually would never trade Murray, but times are desperate. Herter, Murray, and Lyles. Maybe Colby if Portland wants young guards. 2 first-round picks. Portland gets Grant, Williams, and Kamara. Damn. I don't know if Keegan Murray is playing at that level where you get all 3 of these guys. Hey, man, if the Kings did a deal like this and was able to get Jeremy Grant, Robert Williams, and Kamara, that's a 2K trade right there. It's a 2K trade. I don't know if you can get that one, though. The Knicks wouldn't be able to sign Capella if bought out there an apron team. Still, boom. See how the apron comes in and hurts. I appreciate y'all. This was fun. We might have to do this again. It's so many trades. I feel like there was so much more to get to. It's just going on. Jordan Poole goes to the Magic for what? KCP, Cole Anthony. KCP back with the Wizards. I think you got to keep KCP. The defensive culture is too good. I think you got to keep KCP. But I appreciate y'all. Remember, give me ideas in the comments for some future videos that are maybe non-basketball related. But again, we're going to do this again at some point. Thank y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace. I'm out.